let us look at how much you know about Microsoft Excel if you can actually answer all of those particular questions right on your screen, starting from this first one, which is total expenses, down to which categories do I spend the most money right on. So it's something very simple. I'm going to show you how to actually create something that looks just like this. It's something dynamic and interactive, and you'll be very much interested to learn every single simple and complex functions I have actually used right here to power this dashboard. So I'm going to show you how I got the KPIs created and actually how I answered all of the questions to create my pivot tables and use functions and formula to actually make sure every single thing stands out in our dashboard environment. So this particular YouTube channel, will help you to learn about Power BI and Microsoft Excel plus other tech tips that you need to actually know about. So if you have not subscribed to this particular channel before now, please do me a favor to subscribe and support this channel by leaving a comment, share, and actually like my videos, right? Okay, in the first video, we have actually taken care of some part of this particular dashboard. It will be very important for you to take a look at the first video and see what we have actually done to actually get the KPIs right in here created before you come back right here and watch this part of the tutorials. Okay, see you in the class, and I believe you will learn a lot. So go over to here. We're going to be doing this one time and we're going to be reusing it over and over again. So you have to pay attention on how I'm going to get this done. So first of all, we're going to be using nested if to get this done. Or you can use ifs or switch function. But I'm going to be using nested if to make it easy for you guys. So over here, I'm going to say if this particular number here, if it is greater than or equals 1 billion, that is 9 zeros. If that is the case, we're going to be using text function here to actually format the value. So we're taking this particular number here and dividing it by the same 1 billion. Then once we have done this now, put a comma over here. Inside here, do 0.00, then close the double quotes. Now, once you have done this, you have to add an ampersand to concatenate B for billion to it. So we have just formatted it into billion, which means if we have numbers that runs into billion, this will be well formatted. Now place a comma on it. Alt enter to go into a new line, then we'll type in under if again. So I'm going to say if this particular number is greater than or equals 1 million, then under text function again, so we take this particular number, we divide it by 1 million, then place a comma, inside double quotes 0.00, then over here we're gonna do under ampersand again, then here is gonna be million. You see that now? So now alt enter to go into a new line. So we type under if again, we take this particular number and ask if it is equals, if it's greater than or equals to 1000, then text function. So we take this particular number, we divide it by 1000, then 0.00, close. Now we do an ampersand here. So I think we just flopped something here. We should have this closed. Sorry for that. Have this closed. Then have this one here closed. It's important before you actually concatenate M and B. So over here, I'm going to have this closed. And what I'm going to do right now is to actually say, okay, over here, we want to concatenate K, which is 1000. So other than this, what we need to do is to say, okay, whatever it is, just go ahead and actually take, using text, take this particular number here and format it just like that. So what do we want to do? In this particular format, we just want to do 0 over here. Now, how many ifs did we open? So we opened, I think we opened 3 ifs. So can you see what we have done now? This is exactly what it is. So it will be difficult for you to see this particular Naira sign here. But what you can do is just to go to Google. If your currency symbol is not found on the keyboard, the easiest way to get it is actually go over here and type in their sign. So type in your country, sign, and you're going to have it over here. You can see. So I'm going to copy this particular little one from here. Can you see now? Not this one, but this one over here. Or you can actually copy this symbol, whichever one you want to copy. We have copied it, and Excel will actually work with it. So if I double click right now, sorry, I think I flopped. Let's delete this one. So go back to the KPI. So if I double click on this one now, I have it open. So this is where we have to place it. Place it over here. Place it over here. Place this one over here. Then place this one over here. Then hit the enter key. You can see we have it like this. So if you want to see it with one decimal number, all you have to do is to make sure you remove 1 zeros. Then that is all. Just remove 1 0. So now we have done this. Just go ahead and Control A, Control C to copy, then escape, then come over here and paste it down here. So just make sure you select here, go to the formula bar and paste it. So it's going to pick up this one. So what we can do right now is just to double click on this and select this one. The easiest way to quickly get it to actually look at this particular number is to actually copy this one, double click and Control V. So quickly you can see how you can replace it with ease. Can you see it now? This is how easy it could actually be. So if I hit my enter key right now, it's actually picking from here. Check it out. So we can do the same exact thing for this particular one right here. So we copy, and that way to do it is actually after I might have copied, you just come over here and paste it in the formula bar. So right away, I can actually start moving this one and have it over here. So one after the other, this and that way to actually get it done. I don't know which one is faster. I think the first one I did was actually faster. Just start moving it. So move it. Almost done. Finally, if I hit my enter key, this is exactly what it is. Can you see it now? So this is what we have done. So what do we need to do? We have to come over here now and replace this one with the right one. So we just come over to KPI. And that is income, is this one. So we come over here and we replace it with this expenses here. So we replace balance as well. So can you see it now? Okay, now it is time for we to actually do the formatting for our KPI because we are almost done with it. So I'm going to hold my control key to select this one, exclude this one, and this one. Go over here, go to home, and from home, let us select a particular font. So search for this font, this one here, something dark green, will look okay. Okay, this one here, expenses, we want to make sure expenses is actually red. This is okay. So we want to make this one dynamic. And as well, this one as well can be dynamic if you want. But how do we do this inside Excel and make sure it gives us what we want? So let's go over here and make sure we select a particular calm black color. Something like this looks better. Okay. Now, this one is the problem now. Let's go over to KPI. So we're going to come over here. So over to, where could I do that? I think over here now. So in this case, I'm going to just turn off the grid line for this. So it's important. So I'm going to reference this particular one here. So once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to come over here and select. Let's go with 16. Okay, I think 14 looks cool. So now I'm going to select this particular one here and go over to this home, then conditional formatting, we go to new rule, then we select cell. So select this particular one, we select over here and say if it is greater than 0, then we come over here. If that is true, the font is what we want to change, then give us this. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now we are having this. Then we go back again and click on new, then click over here, and this particular one we select here again. If it is less than 0, then we change it to red. That is the conditional formatting you can give to it. So change it to this particular one here. So it's still going to give us green because it's actually not like that. Okay, so if I put over here minus, can you see what we have now? Just to test it out. So remove it because it's not. So we have it back. Okay, now with this, I'm just going to go ahead and Ctrl+C to copy. Let's go over to our dashboard environment. So once we are here, select a particular cell, go over to the top ribbon, go to paste, paste as picture, link picture. So now here we go. We have this. So I'm going to take off this one. Then this is the new one here now. So right away it's too small compared to what we have here. Let's go back here. And over here I'm going to choose to go for 18. So let's go back to our dashboard environment. So now it matches what we have right in here. Can you see it now? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. So we have our KPI, but we are not done yet. So we have 2 things to be done here. So bring this one down here. So make sure the plus is active before you drag and release it. So over here now, we're gonna actually make sure we do average monthly. Income. So we're just gonna make sure we reduce it. So we duplicate this one and have it right in here. So you see that now? So we can actually copy any one of our choice from here and bring it all the way down. So let's go ahead and do the average. So here is average monthly income. So this one is for expenses. So we don't need to actually format this like what we have done here. I'm just going to leave it this way. So go over to here, align and align bottom. So we can actually increase it a little bit. So this is okay. So I want to choose this green color for this one. Then for here, I'm going to choose the red color. So here we go. We have something like this. I can now select both of them and push them down a little bit. Okay, now finally we have actually created our KPI, and this is exactly what you should do. I believe you must have gotten to this particular part. If you have and you're still watching without hitting the like button, please go ahead and like this video. Leave a comment, let me know what you feel about this. And if you have not subscribed, it's very important. Please do subscribe and share to your friends and family, if need be, to your coworkers. Now we are on to the next question, which is this particular question to answer right in here. And here is our first question. Over here it says spending growth between 2024 to 2025 and income growth between 2024 to 2025. So if you were the one, how would you do this? I think it's easy. Let's create a pivot table. So existing worksheet over here. Let's drop it here. Click on OK. So right now, I'm going to just go ahead and grab this one, move it and keep it somewhere around the top here. Then this one too, remove it and keep it somewhere around here. So now, what do we do? So I'm going to go ahead and bring in this particular date into the row area. So what I'm interested in is not the month, it's not the quarter, but the year, like this. Okay, if you look at it right now, it shows row labels. Let's go to the top here, go to design, And from here, choose tabular form. Now it shows year. Then we'll turn off the grand total. So we have something like this. The next thing we have to do right now is to make sure we bring in our amount. Click on it, it's going to actually default it to sum over here. So you can just double click it and take off the sum off. If I hit my enter key, it will not allow me. Let us trick it. Just give it a space bar, hit enter key, and now you have it. Okay, so the next thing is for you to bring in type into it. So our type is here. So we make sure this one is actually income. Can you see it now? That is beautiful. So what am I going to do? Copy this particular pivot table from here and paste it over this particular place. So I think this one should be this spending. This should be expenses. Expenses. Now this one should be income. This one is correct right now. Can you see it now? Okay, so I'm not going to just waste my time formatting this because I have, the shorter format I'm going to use. So just go ahead and use comma separator. It's nicely done. Keep the back end very clean. So we have this now. What kind of chart are you thinking of? Because we have two pivot tables and we need one single chart to do this. It's easy. Let's go back to our dashboard environment. So copy any of the cards here or duplicate it and keep it somewhere around here. So I'm going to just shift it and now hold my control key to select it with this one. Go to the top ribbon, click on shape format, align to the left. Okay, so we now have equal alignment with this particular part here. I'm going to just shift it and open it up a little bit right here. Then bring this down somewhere around here like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just to go straight up to the top ribbon, go to developer. If you don't have developer, make sure you right click on the ribbon here, go to customize the ribbon. And over here, your developer might be unchecked. Just go ahead and check it and that is okay. Just click on OK, you're going to have it. So over here now, make sure you click on insert and insert this particular option button like this. So don't resize it, leave it the way it is, right? So take off what is inside, double click, and once it's activated to edit mode, just delete what you have inside like this. Okay, so to actually pick it, just make sure you select an empty cell, not anything. Hold your control key, select it. Now you have actually picked it. So I'm going to keep this one over to here, then duplicate it and move the duplicate and keep it somewhere around here. Then hold my control key to select both of them. Go to this particular part, shape format, then align top. So can you see it now? It actually aligns them for me. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to copy any of these particular cards here, text box rather. So inside here, I'm going to type in expenses. Okay. So once I've done that, I'm going to resize it, duplicate it, and over here, we type income. Once I'm done, I'm going to move this and keep it somewhere around here. Then move this particular one and keep it somewhere around here. So if you look at it right now, if somebody is trying to aim at this particular text here, to click and activate this, it will not work until you actually aim at this one. So how do we solve the problem? Click on your text box here and hold your control to select this one. Once you have done that, try to send it to back. Send to back is gone. So now click on this, hold your control key, select this particular bigger panel, right click and actually send it to back again. So that reveals back this particular text for you. Right now, it's behind what? It's now behind our option button. I can click on this particular income, click over here, and it's activated. I believe you get the logic of what I've done right in here. All right. So once you have done this right now, right click on this one and go to form control, then click over here on the cell. Then let's go over to this. And over here now, I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. Then click on OK. We should be seeing one when we get back here. Can you see now? So option btn for button. Okay, so here we go. Then this option button, I am going to actually name it so that I don't need to actually, control any cell referencing. So make sure you click on the cell where it is. So right here, I'm going to do option btn. That is all. So now I'm going to actually use this to control how the chart looks. So over here, I'm going to create my chart. So first of all, I'm going to do if option btn here is equals 1. Then 1 is income. Then let's go ahead and pick something from here. Otherwise, pick something from here. So once I've done that, close and hit your enter key. Let's us actually go this way and bring it down. So over here, we can actually go ahead and do normal formatting. Okay, can you see it now? So let's quickly come over here and do the same thing, which means if option btn is equals 1, then give us this particular one. So sorry, income, give us this one. Otherwise, give us this very one here. Hit the enter key. So now let's quickly go back to here and get this particular card, text box, and keep it somewhere around here. So once we have it here, stretch it. So let's go over and put an equal sign here, and we'll pick it up. This is our dynamic title. Okay. Let's go with this. So I wouldn't want to include the 2024 versus 2025. What I'm going to do right now is to go straight to the question again. So over here, I'm going to duplicate this one, bring it down. Duplicate this one, bring it down. So I can actually affect this one by taking off some part of it. So the main question is still there. I just want to make sure this one is the dynamic part of it. So if I now go back now, it has been shortened. So I love what I have here. So let's quickly go ahead and control the color, not too dark. So something like this looks cool. Okay. All right. So it is time for we to create our chart. So have we answered the question so far? It says income growth. This is not giving us any growth. So over here now, I can type in growth. So how do we now calculate our growth? So to calculate our growth right now, we're going to actually take our inside open parentheses and close. So we're going to actually say our current year is 2025. We subtract it from our previous year. So, and we divide it by the previous year. So open. So Control 1, then percentage. Here we go. So here's the growth. It's down by 8.61%. Can you see it now? This is what you can actually do. So the same thing we have done the other time is what we're going to do right in here. So I want to make sure I bring it down. Let's go over here and go to view. We don't need to have a grid line on it. Take it off, right? So for the next question to come, you might want to actually create a bridge between this here, which shows that this particular analysis are actually the same. All right, so over here now, we want to make sure we some kind of go over to here, increase the size to 16, then go over to conditional formatting, then click on manage rows. Now new row, then over here click and we select this one here and say if it is greater than 0, then we won't actually see it in green. Click over here and select this one here. Click on OK. So click on OK here, add new one, select it. And what I'm going to do right away is to select this one again. If it is less than 0, so what do we need to see? We need to see red color. So we select this red and click on OK. So if it is working, now we should be seeing red. So we have just answered the question. This is the growth. So income growth. So whatever is actually active right now is the growth that we're seeing. So we are seeing income. So if I go back to the dashboard environment and I select expenses, we go back to here. So our expenses grew by 13.10%. Sorry, not here. 7.28%. Can you see it now? This is beautiful. Okay, what is next? We need to create a chart with this one. Select it. Once you have done that, go over to the top ribbon, click on Insert. From there, we just have to go ahead and create this chart here. So we don't want to see this axis. The title, no. We have a dynamic title that we have created. So the grid lines, we take it off. So make it smaller. So we have this. Then if we go back to KPI, we cannot copy this number formatting from here. So once we have done that, we jump back to here and we drop this over here. Formula bar, drop it. So don't worry, we're going to solve the problem. Okay, so double click on this one here and double click on this and make sure it's giving you this. Double click, copy it. Whenever you double click on this one, you just Ctrl V to paste it. So Ctrl V to paste this one, Ctrl V to paste, Ctrl V to paste, Ctrl V to paste, and finally Ctrl V to paste, then hit your enter key. So can you see it now? It has been formatted. So what if I don't want to actually have it in 2 decimal numbers? So all I need to do is just to go over here and take off one. Take off this one. So take off this particular one here. And finally take off this very one. So if I hit my enter key, we have it like this. So I can actually go ahead and copy this down. So now let us select this one here and turn on the detail label. So once we have this now, you can actually click on it, on the numbers, Ctrl 1, and go over to value from cell. Can you see? So we select this area and we click on OK. Once we have done that, we turn off value. I will make sure this particular value from cell is actually active. Can you see it now? So let us now take this one away from here. Ctrl X to a dashboard environment. So we do Ctrl V. So what do we do? So we go back. Okay. Escape, maybe this is the reason why it's deselected here. So escape key, we take it off. Okay. Now we can click on this one and Ctrl X to cut it. Going back here, Ctrl V to paste. So now we have it here. So we can paste this one over here like this. So make sure Ctrl 1, there is no fill, no border at all. So now we can widen this. So with what we can see right now, we have to control this particular part here because it's not showing up everything. So I'm just going to stretch it until it shows everything for me. So here we go. We have something like this. Can you see it now? So now we have to decide on the color we want to use. So what I'm going to do right now is to click over here. So go over to this particular solid fill. Then click over here and choose this color. So can you see it? This is exactly what we have. So I'm going to bring this one down here. So now we have to just copy this and bring it all the way down. So let's go ahead and pick up our growth, which is this very one here. So that is not going to work because the formatting will be lost. So all we have to do is just to go ahead and, I think it's going to be, we're giving it a title first. So over here, growth. So once we have done this now, we can now go over to here and click on this, then go over here. Sorry, Ctrl+C to copy. Once we've done that, click over here. Make sure you select an empty cell. Then right click, or still, you go to the top ribbon, you see this particular paste, then paste as link picture. So now we can just move it and keep it somewhere here. Can you see what I've done now? This is exactly what it is. Whenever you change this one, so it has changed. So you have to click over here and drop this one down like this, not to collide with it. Can you see? This is exactly how you can create something as perfect as this. So how about this? Let us duplicate this particular card for our next. I'm going to just go ahead and remove this. So for our next chart, so duplicate this one and bring it all the way down here. So I'm going to allow a white space here. So just bring this one down and the white space here. So what I'm going to do right now is just to hold my Control key and select this one, then go to the top ribbon, go to shape format, go to align, and we align to the left. So we always want to maintain the same equal, white space over here. Okay, now let us grab this one and keep it around here, right? So open it up. So the next thing is for we to go over here and look at what is our next question. Our next question is this one here. I'm just going to move it and keep it somewhere around there, around here. So we can go ahead and turn on our formula bar back again. So let's go pick up the question. So here is our title now. So I want to make sure I'm selecting the same color. Okay, if this is our question, I think I might want to just drop it down just one bit. Okay, fine. So it says, which account do we spend from the most? So how do you think we can actually create this? So let's go over to data and take a look at what we have right here. So we have account here. This is our account. Can you see our account now? So let's go over here and copy the previous pivot table we have used. We don't have to create from the scratch again. So copy any of these pivot tables here. So paste it over here. So now we want to leave type here. So we take off the year. Then I think, yeah, that is good. So we go over to account and drag it to the rows area. So we have these three accounts right in here. So quickly, this is going to actually create our pivot table for us. But we have to actually create this. So I believe you know what I've done here to make sure I actually connect it to this particular part. It's something we have done before. Just go ahead and actually copy this one down. This is the formatting we're going to actually use, right? So in my own case, I don't want to have this particular, decimal number. I'm going to remove it totally, right? So take it off. I'm thinking of something though. Should we use, okay, let me just do this and I'm going to show you what I'm trying to do right in here. So here we go. We have this. So if I go ahead and actually create this thing with this. So expenses is what I'm going to choose. Let's go ahead and create a pivot table with this. So let's go with this chart here. So take off everything you have right here all the title, right click over here and turn this off, hitting it. Okay, now we have this. The next thing we have to do right now is to make sure we are ranking this from the largest, like sort from largest to smallest. So once you have done that and nothing still happens, here we go. We just have to do Ctrl+1 and go ahead and actually, click on this particular part, which is this particular part, and turn this on. Okay, you have this right. So if I make it a bit smaller, so with this right now, we have almost close, bars. So the best way we can actually differentiate this right now, because if you look at these particular numbers we have right in here, we have 142, 141, 133, 139 rather. Then the best way to actually show number here is to use percentage. That will actually work better. So how do we do that? To get that done now, we're going to take this particular number and divide it by the sum of this number here. Right? So use your F4 key to lock it down, then close and hit the enter key. Now we have the percentage of the grand total. So Ctrl+1, then format to percentage with just one decimal number. So can you see it now? So this is going to look better. So if I click over here now, I can actually go over to this particular part and do this. Right? So we can just go ahead and click on Ctrl+1 if need be. Okay, I have something to tell you. There is no need for me to show this because I'm going to actually show an insight on it. That insight to actually cover up for this particular one I have right in here. So let's go ahead and actually do this. So click over here, and from here we select this one. So we turn off this particular one. So here we go. We have this. So can you see it now? So we can actually cut off this one from here, Ctrl+X. So to the dashboard environment, we paste it down. We move it onto this particular part here. So we can first of all go ahead and have this hidden. Then we can have a lot of space to resize what we have right. Okay, so now we have something like this. So what I'm going to do right now is to Ctrl+1. Once I've done this, I'm just going to come over to this particular part, select it and change the color to match the previous one. Then over here, click over this particular part, and here we go. We have something like this. That is not all. We have to bring here, inside. So what are we going to do to get that done? Let us quickly go back to here. And what I'm going to do right now is to actually turn this one inside. So the insight we want to actually have right here, right now, is something very simple. We just want to write something as simple as this. Like, for example, we're going to say you spent more from business account by, let's say 33.7%. Okay, now this is static. We want to actually make sure we try as much as we could to make sure this particular part here is some kind of dynamic. And again, this very percentage part here is some kind of very dynamic as well. So the only static part will actually be this particular one right in here. So for that, we have to make sure whatever we create is actually from here. Then when slicer actually touches it, it's going to change dynamically. So how do we do that? So do you still remember that particular thing I show you where I talk about variable inside Microsoft Power BI, and I talk about let, right? Let in Excel. So those are some kind of storage area. Storage. This one to storage. So you can store something inside here. For example, you can store one inside here. Whenever you call this particular storage, it's going to retrieve one for you. If you call the storage on the one we use with let, it's going to return one to you, right? So let me show you how to get that done. So our insight will actually come right in here. So let us use this one as our guide to actually look at what we are about to get into. Okay, so So first of all, we have to break it down. To get this done now, we have to retrieve the max value from our amount here. So once we have done that, we have to look at what particular account has the max value. So once the max value has been returned, we want to find the percentage of the max value that it represents. So remember, the percentage is dynamic. It's going to change over time. Depends on what slicer we have right on, right? So we don't have to, because if we have to do it the other way around, we have to write like 3 to 4 different, functions to get this done. But it's easy with this function called let. So Alt Enter to go into a new line. So over here with my let, I'm going to actually say underscore max amount. So comma. So what am I going to store inside here? I'm going to store the max value here. So call this one max. Then over here, find the max. So if I close this now, put a comma on it, Alt Enter to go into a new line. So over here now, I'm going to do underscore max account, right? So what am I going to do? To find the max account, we're going to use index. We have done something similar to this before now. So index is actually what I want to return. I want to return something from here. Then put a comma on it. How do you want to do that? We use the match function. So the match function is looking for lookup value. This particular max amount here is going to return the max value from here. So let us store it in here. Underscore max. Then comma is looking for lookup array. So this lookup array right now can be this particular spot here. Then put a comma on it. The match should be 0. Then we close twice. So that closes our match and our index for us. You get that right now? So once we have done that, put a comma on it, Alt Enter to go into a new line. This time around, we're going to actually calculate the total amount here. So underscore total amount, comma. So use the simple sum function to sum this particular area here. So once you have done that, you close it and you put a comma on it. So we have done that. Okay, the next thing we have to do right away is to do percentage of grand total. So Alt Enter. So underscore PCT grand total. Okay, to get that done now, what we need to do is just to say underscore max here. That is the max amount. This one, you divide that by the total amount, by underscore total amount. This one will give us the percentage of grand total. So I hope you get this right now. So once we have done this, let us look at what the percentage of grand total will give us. So Alt Enter, you can actually return this particular PCT here. So Alt Enter, then we close. And if I hit my Enter key right now, this is what it gives us. So it gives us 33.6. Approximate 1 from 5 to this is going to be 7. This is giving us this particular one here. Okay, so this is not what we want as a final result. I can actually come over here now and do underscore result, just like the way I do it in Power BI. So comma here. So inside here, what do I want to show? This is the main result right in here. So the result should now be this is exactly what we have right here. You spent more from. So this one now will be dynamic. So we're going to actually close and ampersand underscore accounts. So max accounts. So max account retrieves something from here, right? So once you have done that, you go ahead and do under concatenate again. Then over here, so we do by, then we close our by, put a space on it, then we do under concatenate again, then we use the text function to format underscore the grand total. So it's going to be 0.0%. You get that right now. So we close, we put a comma right now, Alt Alt Enter, then we return our results in here. So if I hit my enter key, can you see what I have right now? The same exact thing I have right in here, I have repeated it, but this one is more dynamic. So how do you find out if this is true? So let us right click and return the show field list here and go ahead and grab year as a slicer. So once we apply year as a slicer, let's see what it gives us. In 2024, so we have main account. This one is still static. Can you see now? So in 2025, we have business account. So overall, give us business account. Can you see it now? The value changes, which is the percentage changes, and as well, the accounts will change. This is what we have. So for now, I'm going to delete this one. I can go straight up to this particular part here and duplicate this one, then come over to here. Let's go ahead and pick it up, which is this very one here. Once I've done this, I can just go ahead and reduce the size. I don't want it to overshadow my main thing here. So here we go. So with this right now, click on this particular one, go over here, click on this, and let's pick it up. Okay, we have something that looks like this. So what I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and do Ctrl+1. So let's come over here and select something like this here. So once we have done this now, we're going to start from here. We choose to use white here. Then over here, we choose to use under white color. So over here, I'm going to choose to use this color here. So over here, I'll choose to use this one. Over here, I'll choose to use the same thing. Then over here, I'm going to choose to use this very one here, this third one here that has 25% darker. So once I've done this now, I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. So now for the text I have inside it, I'm going to change it to black. So can you see the effect I have right now? So this is how I got this particular effect right in here, just by using this and change and float the color to one side. So I have this right here. So this is what it is that we want to achieve. So you can click on this particular one and extend it down a little bit. So it depends on your screen size though. So just taking care of your screen size is very important. So this is what we have done right here. We have just answered this very question. So how about this? The space I have right now can take more 4 different, insights, like 4 different charts. So I have to do 2 different dashboards. So I'm going to just go ahead and duplicate this one. Once I've done that, I'm just going to keep it somewhere around here, bring it down, then hold your control key to select this one again. Now make sure you aim at the card. Once you've done that, go over to the top ribbon and align top. This is beautiful. So the space I have right in here is something very important. I want to make sure it's okay like this, right? So what I'm going to do now is just for me to some kind of extend this right here, like this. So then duplicate it and keep this one over to here. So let's go to view and shut down the formula bar for the first time. So let's do again a space here. That space should be calculated to make sure it's equals to what we have right in here. Can you see it now? So bring this one down and hold your control key to select this particular one. Let's go to the top ribbon. Over here, we align this to the top. Okay, can you see it now? So once we have done this, we can actually go ahead and duplicate this one and bring this one all the way down right here. So over here, we have to Ctrl+1 and take off the fill color and the line color for that path. So let's have this one hidden. So I'm going to bring this one down to create this spacing. So you can actually move this and hold your control key to select this one. Let's go over here. Let's go to align to the right hand corner. So we have this. So we have to duplicate this one and bring it down over here. So you have to click on this and align to the left hand corner. So once you have done that, select and click on this one and align to the top. So we can now click on this particular part and just reduce it to maintain the white space we have right at the bottom here. Okay, we have those particular cards here. So what will go in here is important for we to know that. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate and keep this one over here. So duplicate the same exact thing and keep this one over here. Duplicate again. This one should go over here. So one more time. This one goes, oh, sorry. This one goes here. Okay, fine, fantastic. What's going to come in here now will be, let's go over to here. And this particular analysis ends here. I'm just going to create a bridge to show the ending of it. So let's quickly go straight up to this particular part. So how has my spending and income changed over time? This is it. So we just have to make sure we move this one. Here we go. So we have this here. So this is going to be tricky, but I'm going to show you how to get it done. So we have here this here as our main question, but we're going to create two things from here right now. So go ahead and actually hold your Control key, duplicate this one, and once more, duplicate this particular one. Then we're going to change our color to differentiate them from this. So let's go with something like this. Okay, so now over this particular part here, we're going to say, how has my spending changed over time? So here is going to be, how has my income? So we have two different things right here, right now, because we're going to be switching between these two here. So which means we can't directly use this one right now. You get it right now? But you still remember this particular option BTN we have created. I believe you still remember it. So if you don't remember it, let me show you. Go over to your view and turn on your formula bar. And let's go over here. And if I click on it, here we go. We have this here. And that is actually this particular one here. We're going to use it right now. Income and expenses will be used. So right now you're switching those particular ones. Don't worry about it because we're not going to use it. So let's quickly go back to where we are. So we are right here. We need to actually create a pivot table. Let us copy the previous one we have used. So paste it down right here. So once you have done that now, what do we do to answer the question? So the first question is going to be our expenses. So we turn this on. We take off account. Now we want to bring in date. So from date, we just want to use month. So take off quarter, take off the year. So we are left with month, right? So the next thing now is going to be the year to be right in here. So no, in the column area. Can you see it now? We have the year right in the column area. So once we have this, I think we have partially answered the question, but not so well. Okay, so we need to create another one. Let's go ahead and copy this very one here and paste it right in here. So once we have this now, we can now split this particular question here. This one is expenses, so we should actually keep this one over here. Keep this one over here. So income should go under this particular one, like this. So let us swap this one for income. So can you see it better? So can this one create anything like a chart? No, we have to switch between them. And it is very easy. So then, how do we go about it? Let's quickly come over to here. And right now, let me leave here, call this one title. So for my title here, I'm going to do option. So using if option btn is equals 1, that is my income. So give me this title, otherwise give me this title. So here we go. Let's quickly go to our dashboard now and fill up this very blank here. So now, here we go. So we can actually copy the same formatting for this one here. So if I switch to expenses now, so how has my spending changed over time? How has my income changed over time? You get that now? This is what it is. All right, let's quickly get back to the business here. Over here right now, this is where we have to do the needful. So over here, I'm going to do if option btn is equals 1, then retrieve something from here, otherwise retrieve something from here, just like what we have done before. Okay, so we have this. I'm going to copy this one, copy it down. We have the values. So let's format it with comma separator. All right, so here we go. Can you see what we have done now? Okay, what we can see right here is income, and the number tallies with what we have right in here for the both years. This is cool, but not so quick. We want to calculate the year-over-year change. With the kind of chart we want to create, we want to actually create the year-over-year change. So Y. So change. So how do we calculate the year-over-year change? So we're going to calculate the actual value and the percentage of year-over-year change. So for the actual value right now, what we can do is to actually say equals this particular previous year from the current year. So I'm going to just copy this down. So the minus we have right now here, anywhere you see open parentheses and close, is actually on minus. It's going to cause confusion. It's going to cause issue with our chart, but I'm not going to actually affect it right now. I'll show you how to actually get around this and make sure it's an absolute value, like a positive value, not a negative value. There should be no negative value mixed up with it. But before then, let's quickly create year-over-year percent. So for the year-over-year percent, how do we actually, get this calculated? It's very important. So to get this done now, we just have to say equals here. Then we want to take our, inside open parentheses, so our current year is 2025. So we subtract our previous year. So we close and divide by our previous year. So here we go. This one gives us our percentage year-over-year change. If I control 1 now, I can go to percent, and here we go. We have something that looks like this. You get it right now. So because we're going to be needing to actually use formatting, right, which is not this kind of formatting, the normal formatting we have before, which is this particular one from here. So what we need to do is just to copy. So you know the drill. So we just have to go ahead and paste it over here. Go to the formula bar and paste it and hit your enter key. Now wrong value, don't worry about that. So what I'm going to do now is to type in 2024, then 2025 over here. So once I've done that now, for over this one, I'm going to just select this particular one, double click and make sure it's highlighted, and go to this particular one. And what you have to do is just to do it one after the other. So if I hit my enter key, it has picked this particular number here, and this is great. But unfortunately, I don't want to actually have 2 decimal numbers. So double click and actually make sure you take off this down to the full stop you have right in it. So here we go. Nicely done. So we have something that looks like this. So we can now copy this one down, and let's go ahead and copy it this way. Let's see how it goes. So does it give us that? So nicely done. If I double click now, it's saying this. Can you see how swift this could look? It is time. When I say if it is time, it is time. So let us select this particular range and see what we have over here. Let's go through here and go to insert. From insert, click over this particular part and let's click on this. Here we go. So this is what I'm telling you. Let us remove this title, take off this particular y-axis. Under this particular part here, leave this year over year change here, no problem. Okay. Now, if you look at it right here, we have this green here is the changes. So where we have negative values is going down. We don't want this. We want everything to be at the top because we need it. So what do we do? Let me show you. So if I go over to this particular year over year change here, I'm going to wrap it up with this particular ABS and this. If I hit my enter key and copy it down, take a look at this particular 3, June, July, August here. So can you see it now? We have controlled it, we have moved it to the top. So what is next that we need to do? So we need to actually add data labels, right? So what I'm going to do right away is just to Control 1 and the gaps. Nicely done. So once I've done this now, we're going to change the color. So I'm going to choose this color here. So over here, I'm going to select. Let's go with this particular color here. So for this particular one, we are not going to select any color. So we say no fill. I know you are feeling like, what the heck are you doing? But don't worry, this is what we wanted. No fill. So now on this particular one, let us bring in the data label for it. Or generally, we can just click over here and select data label. So everything will be turned on. So one after the other, we want to fix this. So click on this particular one here. Make sure you know what year is it, 2024. And come over here and select the label option, select value from cell. Then over here, we're going to select this particular one here. So once you have done that, click on OK and turn off this one. Then the next thing is going to be we changing the color to pop out. You see that now? Select the same thing over here and let's do here. Then we do 2025. Then we click on OK. We just turn this off. All right. So we have something like this. On this particular one here, we want to select this. And now we select our percentage here. Once we have done that, click on OK. And we turn off this one. So do you see what I've done now? So over here, we're going to just go and say inside end. Inside base. So it's to actually shoot out. So once we have done that, now let's go over here and let's do solid fill. Then let's select a particular color, this color here. So because we want actually to make it stand out so that it will not look like they're actually the same thing with this one. But if you look at it, it has no legend. So let's select again. Go over here. I'm going to change it to a different color. Let's go with something like this one here. Okay. Thinking. Just play around with the colors you have right here. Okay. So something like this would be cool. So reduce this and make sure it's calm. This is what we want to actually have. Remove the grid lines from here. So what is going on here? Can somebody tell me? So over here now, on this particular chart, you can see the changes between 2024 to 2025 right in here is actually, down by 6.9%. This one is down by 5.4, and this one is actually up by 7.4. Can you see how it is right now? Okay, so we can take this one to our dashboard development area. Control X. While we are here, we just have to Control V to drop it. So we reduce the size. So we select it and we come over here we drop. We still want to make sure it's showing up very well. So look at the number we are using. That is 7. Do the same thing for this particular one. So 7 shows up very well. So no fill, no border. So we can now open it up. So we have our legend. Let us move it to the top. So click on this one. So not bad at this. So now, for we to actually make sure we give the end users what is going on here, so you want to make sure you select your chart first. So go to the top ribbon here, then go over to Insert, Illustrations, or Shapes, then take the circle and hold your shift key to just drop a circle and resize it. Make it very small and fit it into this particular spot here. Ctrl 1, no line. The fill color should be the actual color we are using. So let's see what we have. Now can you see? This gives us a legend right here. So here we go. We have something that looks like this. Okay. Now, if I switch to expenses, the chart is actually changing. So it depends on the kind of screen that you have. If you have a bigger screen, you might actually have this to appear very well. But right now, we just have to make sure we don't, do things that will not really get cool. So people can actually connect to see the changes between this particular, year based on month. Can you see now? So the changes between the 2 years right in here based on months. All right, on to the next one. Let's go over to here, then create a bridge between the two of them. Here we go. So let's go. So how do my habits change on weekends versus weekday? So let's just move it, then drop it over here. All right. So we just have to create another pivot table. Copy this one. So drop it over here. So let us change this particular part here. Then let's go straight up to this and pick it up. So we copy the formatting. All right. So if we now get back here right now, we can take off everything we have right here, exclude the month, and as well want to take off the year from here. All right. How do my habits change on weekends versus weekday? How do my habits change? So over here now, I think he's not talking about either expenses or income. So if he's talking about habit, we should actually relate it to expenses. So in that case, we're going to actually bring in type in here. And this type should actually, just go for expenses, which is this particular one here. Can you see it now? Beautiful. But how do we get the weekend and the weekdays? So we have to actually add something to the data, which means we have to come to the data area here and add new calculated column. So first of all, the first column we're going to add is actually going to be week. So week here. So for we to get a week now, what we need to do is to use the text function. The text function is looking for value. The value should be this particular one here. And put a comma on it. And here, then we close, we hit our enter key. We have this Monday down, like Friday to Wednesday here. So it's correct. So we have added this particular column. Right click again and go over to, over here we're going to type in week type. So for week type, what are we going to do? For week type, we want to see if any of this is actually weekday or weekends. So how do we get that done? It's easy. So we're going to use the if or function. Let me zoom closely. So this is what I've done here. Take a look at it again. So now we're going to use the if or function. If or, then what do we want? So if this particular one here, if it is equals sun for Sunday, right, in the short form, then comma, so that is gonna be, this one again is equals to sat for Saturday, then that has completed our logic. Then what do we want to see? We want to see weekend, otherwise we want to see weekday. So you have that right now. Can you see? So let us look at weekends. So what are the weeks? So it's Saturday and Sunday. Can you see it now? Very correct. So we can clear the filter. All right, so make sure you save your work is very important. So getting back here right now, we can't find it. So until we just go ahead and refresh, and now it will appear here. So we have it. So the week type is what we're going to put in here. So this is our week type. So with our week type here, this has not actually answered the question logically. So what are we going to do? We want to say, okay, fine, we have you here. What I want to actually do right now is to make sure I create two different charts. So this one gives us a count. Drag another one here. This one will actually give us transaction. Numbers of transactions, right? So we have two of them here. So what do? We're going to create two separate charts. Sorry, I like this part. So over here, so we select the transaction as well. So here we go. Okay, now we need to just get this particular formatting. And make sure you have this one formatted. So if you look at it, it's still looking at this particular part here. So we have to change it. So we have it fixed. We copy it down. Now, here we go. We have something like this. What do we do next? We have to create two different charts. Now, the first chart is going to be this one. Let's go insert over here. Let us insert this chart here. So remove any of this from it. So Ctrl+1 and make sure you reverse it. Okay, so this one is actually your amount, which is gonna go into here. So you just have to make it smaller. So let us turn off the fill and the border. So once we have done this now, I'm going to come over here and select this very color here, then turn on this particular data label Then click over here and let's go straight up to this part and go ahead and take up this. Okay, turn this off. So we have this. We can stretch it. So you see this now? Okay, the next thing now is for me to go over to here and create one more. Let's do the same exact thing we have done. So you flip it. So this particular part might have maybe sometime, it depends on the kind of data you are dealing with. Remember, if you are to actually do the practical with a real life data, it might be different. So I will advise you, if you are using Excel 365 or Excel 2021, there is a function called sort, which is this particular function here. So it's called sort or sort by. So use it to sort this dynamically, because right now we are able to actually do this without any issue. Both of them have their highest value to be on this particular weekday. So what if weekend has the highest value for transaction, but highest value for, weekday under the amount right in here? There will be some kind of confusion, right? So try to know how to use that. But I'm not going to show you though. So I have a course that covers everything you need to know about Microsoft Excel and Power BI, in case you're actually willing to learn from me. So pick up the course in the comment section or the description box. So let's go back here. So paste it down. And over here, I'm going to keep this one around here. Then what I'm going to do now is to take off this, resize it. No fill, no border. Click on it. Let's go to solid. Let's click over here. Let's go with this. So you see that now? So let us turn on the data label. So we want to make sure we click on this one. Let's go over here and select format. So the height is actually 1.48. So the height is going to be 1. So here we go. So we have something that looks like this. Are we done yet? Not at all. So we want to look at how we can let me verify this color. Okay, let us verify this color too, because we want to use the same exact color. So we can actually go ahead and make sure we resize this particular one like this. So just take your time. So how do my habit changed on weekend over weekday and stuff like that? So we can actually see this one here. So all we have to do right now is just duplicate this one and keep this over here. So we just type in here transactions, right? So over here is our transaction, is our amount spent. Amount spent here. Can you see how easy it is? So this is exactly what it is. So this one identifies amount spent, this one identifies the numbers of transactions that happened. This is what you can actually do to actually have this created. Let's just look at what our next question is. Our next question says, how consistent is my income? So let's go straight up to this particular part here. So I'm going to drop this over to this particular part. Right. So before we do that, let us look through this I've created. So we have CV percentage range, and we have meaning, and we have interpretation. Anything from 0 to 10% is actually high consistent. So income is very stable month to month. Anything 10 to 25% is actually moderate consistent, some ups and down, but still stable. 25 to 40% inconsistency, not stable income swing, and above 40% is actually high unstable. So if you actually go through what I've done over here, you will definitely understand the kind of analysis you're going to be doing with Microsoft Excel right now. So the question is this: how do we answer this question? So what I'm going to do is just to go ahead and copy the pivot table I've used over here. Copy it. So let us paste it over here. So over here it's going to be income. Switch to income. Take off weekday. Then bring in date. And take off other ones. Exclude the quarter. So we have the month, right? So we don't want to have the count. So we only have this. Okay. So with this over here, we need to create a format, right? That's going to be this one. So copy. Let's go back. Keep it over here. Then paste. You know how to get it formatted. It's simple. So done. Just copy it down. So this is not done yet. We actually have to get some couple of things done here. So first of all is the insight. So the very first thing we need to create right here is standard deviation. So next again is average. Next again is income consistency score. All right, let us start with the standard deviation right in here. So how do we do that? We have a function already for it. So it's std. Which is this particular one here. So what do? We select this particular environment here. Hit the enter key. It gives you this particular value. You see that now? So next thing now is for you to create average. So using the average function to average this particular environment here. So next again now is for you to calculate the income consistency. How do we do that? With our equal sign, we're going to take this particular value, we divide it by this value. So do Control 1 to format it to percentage. So we have 8.6%. So let us now go straight up to here. So with our 8.6% right now, where does it fall to? It falls between 0 to 10. So it's actually high, consistency. Income is very stable month to month. So if you don't want to track that and see how it goes right away, you can take a look at it. So we can actually go ahead and create our chart. Then insert here, go to line chart and bring in line chart. So there are some drops, but it's not really bad. You understand? So it's actually still within three, it's between 30 to 40. That is the consistency of the thing. So once we have done this now, this is not enough to actually get this created, right? So what do we do next? The next thing we have to do right now is to actually write the insight. Now to get this done now, we have to add, here we're going to call this insight. So with the insight now, we come over here, we put an equals. I'm going to use text join for me to maintain my space. So the limiter should actually be space, then true to ignore any empty cell. Then put a comma on it. So into a new line. Over here, I'm going to use the if function to say if std, standard deviation here. So to find it is going to be from here. Then we close and divide it to the average. So remember, you can reference this particular one you have done before, but I'm still going to just go ahead and repeat the same thing over here. So we close. So once I've done this now, if it is less than 0.1, try to cast your mind back to what I've shown you previously before now. That is the rule we are using over here now. Then if that is the case, we just want to type in here high consistency. So put a comma on it. If the result is false, into a new line using that if again, or still, what you can do is to copy this particular part here. This particular part here, repeat it. Or repeat this particular whole part. Repeat the same thing here. So just copy it down, paste it here. So now this one now should be 0.25 to 5. Then this one is going to be moderate. So that is going to be moderate consistency. So we need a comma here. So other than this, if the result is false, Alt Enter, then we just want to say is significant. Fluctuations. Close it to this thing opened. So it seems we have an issue here. Let us look at what the issue is. So the first one here, we have want to have a comma over this particular part. It's important. Then comma here. This is true. This is false. So what is going on? Let's see. Okay, it's working fine. No, but if this is working, this should actually give us a color of closure of this one. So there's a text I should actually type in here. Alt Enter. So over here, I'm going to just say year, monthly income shows. So I think if you look at the error we are having now, the error is actually from this particular part here. So this particular closure of our parenthesis should be showing this particular color of the opening over here. The reason why it's not actually working like that was because we have not actually opened here this. Can you see now? So that is it. Just little thing can actually make Excel to just malfunction. So now it's working now. Right, so I'm going to place a comma here, Alt Enter. So into a new line, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to say with an average monthly income of. So now what do? We have to actually average this. So I'm just going to do here ampersand. So we do text to format the average you're going to actually use. Text over here. The text function. What do we do? We have with flub. So as you can see, as I'm typing this particular text function right now, it's not popping out. What we can do right now is Alt Enter. Then we have to close for our text join. Then come back here and just type in text function again and see if it pops out. So what the heck is wrong? Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's just cut off this particular one. Ctrl X to cut it. And we want to make sure here, Alt Enter. We close, and if I hit my enter key, it's working fine now. So double click on it again. Now over here, Alt Enter, paste in the one you have actually put it in. So text is now working. I don't know, Excel can just be stable at the same time. So what we want to do right in here right now is to find the average number. So using the average function here. So the average function to average this particular part. And we have to format it, comma. To format it right now, you do ampersand, double one. So you close it. So you have just formatted this. And quickly, we're going to concatenate it. Alt enter again. Into this particular new line, we're going to do and. So a variation of, so under ampersand here. So text function again. The text function now should actually take in standard deviation and divide it, because we're actually going to find this particular one right in here. So you might reference this so you can actually create from the scratch. std ev. So we just reference here. Once you have done that, we close, we divide with average function to average this particular part right in here. Then we close. So once we have done this, comma, in here, we're going to do hash, comma, hash, hash, close, and close this. You get it right now? So once you have done this now, we're just going to do here, we want to put a full stop on it. So this full stop now should come between double quotes like this. Then put a comma on it to go into the next line. Alt enter. So in this particular line now, we're going to type in income. Tends to be higher or highest in. So put a comma on it. Alt enter. So now we're going to do under text join again to do under concatenation. So this time around, we want to actually have a new delimiter. The reason why we're doing this now is that we want a new delimiter. So that new delimiter this one cannot give us a new delimiter. So the new delimiter right now should be, a comma, space. Oh no, sorry. We just have to go back. The comma, space, and close. So once we have done that right now, truth to ignore. So comma, alt enter. So over here now, we're going to say if. So if here, if this particular part here is equals max, mean, then what do we want? We're going to find the mean over here. So once we find the mean over here, we close, we put a comma. So what do we want to actually return? We want to return the month. Then we close. I think here should be max, not mean. This should be max. So we want to return this. Then once we have done this now, otherwise return blank. So close for the second time. You close for max, you close for if. Then once you have done this right away, you just do an ampersand here, alt enter. So and lowest in. So what do? We just have to copy the same exact thing and reuse it again. So which means we're going to copy from here, right? Copy, alt enter, paste it down here, then turn this one to mean. So mean. You get it right now. So once you have done this, so here is going to be a full stop. Then let's see what this will give to us. So where the heck have we done here? So if I hit my enter key, you can see the side of the error I have has been highlighted. So the lowest here. So click over here to check the limiter, ignore, false text here. Then we ignore. So inside here now, we're going to go for the if logic here. If it is true, otherwise. Okay. So if you look at it right now, if I hit my enter key, it wouldn't actually work. So you have to start looking at what is going on. So what is the error message? It says over here, if you look at what it gives us right now, it says you have entered too many arguments for this particular function. So if you have not actually encountered this kind of error before, you might not know how to solve it, but let me show you how to solve it. Whenever you actually have an error like this, you have to look out for your brackets. So if we trace it right now, I think there are no brackets that are not closed here. This one closes this particular one here. This one closes, this one closes. Everything here seems to be okay, but you have to be just careful to get it done. So over here, we need to close this particular bracket here. We didn't close it. So close. Right now it has highlighted. So when this was not closed, if you look at your formula, it will even start telling you something. So whenever you don't see any highlights in all of those particular, cell referencing you have actually made, that shows that there is a particular mistake from the inception of the formula. So look at what happens right here, right now. So over here, there are no highlights, just like what we have right in here, just because of one silly mistake from here. You need to actually go ahead and close this one here. Can you see now? If I hit my enter key, 100% correct. This is what we have. You get it now. So let us go ahead and take a look at what we have right here. So we have this and the numbers here mixing together.